It is a psychological fact that we as humans tend to like other people who are more akin to us. But there is a real difference in whether someone treats this natural psychological tendency as a personal preference, my way of being, and when someone treats this preference as a norm, your way of being should be like mine. The real test of a democracy is how society treats its minorities, how we treat people who have a different skin color than ours, who have another religion than ours, who are of foreign nationality, or who belong to a sexual minority group. This project tackles societal issues faced by a particular type of minority group, the sexual minorities, also known as LGBT+. In a society dominated by preference for the traditional family, sexual and gender minorities are highly likely to be discriminated and prejudiced against by people who want to impose their preference on others as norms. This leads to an increased risk of social isolation and mental health issues for the people belonging to the minority group. It would be difficult for anyone to live in a world where most people reject your way of living. However, in our view as psychologists, the solution is not trying to impose the majority's will on minorities, but accepting diversity and ensuring that the preference of the few are also respected. This project is a partnership between a team from the University of Bergen in Norway with extensive scientific expertise in LGBT+ topics and a team from the West University of Timișoara in Romania with an expertise in implementing evidence-based online psychological assistance programs. Through the project, the social inclusion of LGBT people, public attitudes and evidence-based interventions to increase their quality of life, funded by the EEA and Norway grants through the Collaborative Research Projects program, the two teams aim to implement three main lines of research. The first study is a comparative survey between Romania and Norway on how people in these two countries perceive LGBT+ people. The survey is like a social X-ray of sorts. There are very few public opinion studies on the attitude towards LGBT+ persons in Eastern Europe. To the best of our knowledge, none of these studies investigate both at causes, contributing factors, and consequences of these attitudes. We will produce a white paper on the current LGBT+ status in Romania based on results from a national survey and on reviewing the national policies for sexual minorities. The second study is an educational program for teachers to help LGBT students better meet the challenges they face. 30% of Romanian LGBT students report feeling discriminated, a rate that is 3 times higher than those reported in countries like the Netherlands, Belgium and Denmark, and ranks second amongst EU countries. These findings are especially concerning, given that younger sexual minority individuals are most vulnerable to adverse effects of stigma on their mental and physical health. We aim to help teachers intervene in bullying cases when students experience LGBT-related victimization. The third study is a program to improve the emotional state of members of the LGBT community. The emotional vulnerability amongst LGBT individuals is mainly accounted for by the stress of being part of a social minority. Several studies stressed the protective role of psychological processes related to acceptance. This study aims to design and implement an internet-delivered mental illness prevention program based on acceptance and agency principles. It will help LGBT people who are confronted with some emotional difficulties become more resilient to remain out of the clinical level of depression and anxiety. You can find more details on the project website inclusion.uvt.ro and on the platform where the online intervention takes place.